What's up, everybody? This is the one and only GM, and today we got MG Boogard. Y'all might know him. He has a lot of good Tekken 8 videos on YouTube, also Tekken 7, covering all different types of tactics, different characters, tutorials. And yeah, man, it's good to have you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to be here.
All right, so first question I got. What made you get into Tekken? Like how you started into Tekken, and what made you want to be a content creator for Tekken? Because for Tekken, honestly, there's not a lot of content creators for Tekken, and usually if people do make content for Tekken, they're kind of like they'll probably push out a couple of videos and then completely stop. There's not a lot of like dedicated Tekken content creators. So what made you want to play Tekken and get into content creation for Tekken?
So I got into Tekken a lot more recently than most of my viewers. I think it was 2018. It was whenever season 2 dropped in Tekken 7. So I'm definitely like a much newer player. I was just like fully casual back then. Back then, I used to be a competitive Smash Bros. Player. So that's how I started before I ever tried Tekken. So I went to tournaments, like traveled around. That was really cool. And yeah, one of my friends was into Tekken. He's like, "You want to play it?" We played it casually for a bit. And during COVID time, I got like a little bit more serious, as in like I started trying to actually understand the game. But in Tekken 7, I was like always pretty casual. I wasn't like too try hard. I think I got to like maybe Fujin before Tekken 7 ended. So yeah, I kind of just played it on the side. It was never like my main game or anything, just something I had like a passing interest in. And I think so I get to go back to the content thing. At some point during that time, I uploaded a guide on Geese Howard. Actually, it was like a Geese Howard beginner's guide, and this is back when I had like no subscribe, like 50 subscribers maybe. And for some reason, that one Geese guide just did really, really well. I think it got like 20K views, and I'm like, holy shit! Like people are actually interested. People think I can like talk well, like articulate my thoughts, like kind of convey it well. So I'm like, okay, that was kind of my like initial sign. I think this was 2020. It was either 2020 or 2019. Very old video. But I kind of like I didn't really do anything for a while after that. I kind of just focused on other stuff,
Yeah.
school.
Hmm.
I've always like been interested in doing content creation, like ever since I was really, really young. So when Tekken 8 got announced, I'm like, okay, there's a new game. Maybe I can like tie in like the hype of the new game and make videos on that to get some traction. So I had the guide to go. I'm like, my one video that's done well in my life was a guide. So let's make guides on all the other characters in Tekken 8. So I think there was a closed network test. I think was it like October or November before the game came out.
Yeah.
I made a Jin guide and that did pretty well. And from there, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna like grind this out. I remember, do you remember the Tekken 8 demo with like only 4 characters that we were all playing for a little bit there
Yeah, I
before the game
remember.
came out?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a guide on all 4 of the demo characters. And these guys, they were they were trash. Like there was no training mode, so they were just done in like single player. And I edited it like in just like 1v1 fights. And I'm like, I'm gonna have the guides on the first 4 characters out before the game even comes out. So that way, as soon as the game does come out, people will be well, you'll look for guides, and mine will be the first to show up. So I think I was very early on that. And yeah, just kind of went from there. I remember I did like some hype videos talking about like what to expect, like predicting the DLC. And yeah, from there, it just kept going. Here we are.
That's really smart, bro. Cause like honestly, like, cause when the game comes out, obviously people gonna look for guides, and if you do it
Mm.
before the game comes out, your video is gonna be like the first one to show, right? So,
Mm.
uh, a lot of cause it's like honestly when it comes to tech and content creation, it's kind of hard, right? Cause we like a small
Yeah.
group, but there's a lot of people trying the same type of stuff, right? So there's like a
Mm.
lot of different competition with it when it comes to guides, tutorials. So it's cool that you had like a setup already. You was like, okay, this video already did really good, so let me make this type of content. Um,
Yeah. I think something I've kind of like learned in doing YouTube, which might be helpful for people watching who are interested in YouTube,
yeah,
if you want to like succeed in a new channel and do like gaming content, the best thing you can do is just like pick a game that's like just about to come out. So I did it with Tekken. It worked really well. I did an experiment when the Nintendo Switch 2 got announced. So I
yeah,
made a whole new channel with like fresh channel, no relation to mine. And I just made like a video like hyping up Mario Kart World. I made another video being like, let's predict like which Switch games are going to come out first on the Switch 2. And my first video on that channel got 15K. The second one has 50K. So, and that was like no association to my current channel. So I don't know. I just think it works. Like that wasn't a one game in particular, but that was like, okay, people are hyped about something new that's coming. Let me start just like posting content. I think that's the way to grow your channel. The best thing you can do if you want to do any kind of gaming content, really.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, because I play Mario Kart World a lot and I stream it so much, but I didn't really think about making a separate channel because I feel like I got a lot on my plate, man. I already stream every day, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I also primarily just focus on Tekken. So it's like
Sure.
I feel like in general, like and like in your case, right? You good to go, right? But
Yeah.
like it's kind of hard to manage. Like, how do you manage like two different channels like that?
Well, I mean, the that other channel, I don't think I've uploaded in like 4 months. It was kind of just, I just wanted to see if like what I thought was true, because already before I'm like, I blew up so quickly just doing like pre Tekken 8 content, hyping up the game's release. What if
Yeah,
I do it for another series? So I don't upload frequently on that channel. I kind of want to start doing it. I think it's good to like expand, like you said before. There's not a Tekken's a very niche community,
yeah,
so I think and every other fighting game like person I've talked to, like Rufelmonger, all those guys, they're like, if you want to do this, it's best to not put all your eggs in one basket and do like multiple games and like start early. So I think, yeah, I think that's just the play, really.
mm. That makes sense. So I want to talk about because you said you used to play Smash Brothers, right?
Hmm.
I knew a lot of Smash players, man, like a lot, because I'm from New York, right? And there's a lot of
Yeah.
Smash players from New York and stuff like that. A couple of Tekken players actually started in Smash too. I don't know if you would ever know of a player called NYC Fab. He used to play. He used to
No.
be a Smash player, and he used to also play DOA. I also knew the commentator D1 because he lived in New York, and he
Of
also
course, I know him.
yeah. So you know I knew him because he lived in New York, and I was around him all the time, and so I was wondering how was the Smash scene compared to like Tekken, and how long did you play Smash for?
I started as soon as Smash Ultimate came out, I think a little bit before, and I'm just like, I wanted to learn this. I did pretty well initially. I just started going to tournaments. I've always liked the Smash series. Like at my core, I've always been like a huge Nintendo fan, so I'm
Yeah.
like, Smash Brothers is pretty great. I played from like 2018 when the game came out to like 2023, and that was when I was just done. I think that game has like a ton of balancing issues. I think it's like a really bad competitive game. I actually think it's a worse competitive game than season 2 of Tekken 8,
Oh
which
wow.
is a high bar, you know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I have some really big problems with that game, so I kind of stopped. I was never like top 50 in the world. I was ranked top 10 in my state, I guess. So that's all I really wanted. I got to go to some cool majors in the US, cool experience. As for like how they differ, I think the Tekken community is a lot more harsh. I know with season 2, everyone's experienced like the toxicity. I think Tekken is a much more toxic community,
That's,
but that comes with its ups and downs. I like the Tekken community because I can be a lot more honest.
yeah.
People are are very sensitive, I can just say. In the Smash community, a lot of people are, and it's very like cult like there's like a couple top players, and if you don't like agree with a common opinion, they'll like swoop in on you like for anything. I mean, that's an issue in Tekken too. It's an issue in
Yeah.
every community, but yeah, I don't know. The Smash community and the Tekken community, they're relatively similar. I mean, it's just people. I think Smash ages a lot younger. Like the average competitive Smash player is probably like early 20, like 22, 23, 24.
Yeah.
Tekken, you're a lot older. And even like if you look on, I guess if for me, if I look on like my channel's analytics, the Tekken channel, the average age is like 27 to like mid 30s. Like the people are way older in this community, which I don't know. I think that's a good thing. I don't have
Yeah.
to deal with as many annoying people.
I think
I
too
am
is
one of the
because
annoying people. I'm 20.
oh, you 20. Wow, you really young, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Tekken is a legacy game, man. So like a lot of the people that could play Tekken really really well are like guys that used to play in arcade back then. You know, because
Hmm.
the game honestly it takes a lot of years to get good at. I know like Tekken 8 is dumbed down, but you know it's still like Tekken legacy stuff. I still feel like somebody that's been playing for a longer time might have an edge, even though Tekken 8 is a little bit easier to play, right?
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I was gonna ask you about that because you did make content for Tekken 7 also, right?
Kind of, not really. It was really just the guide. I've made content for Tekken 7 more recently. That might be what you're thinking of. Like I did like a video essay on like the most broken characters in Tekken 7.
Yeah,
So I'm dabbling more. Season 2 is so bad. I'm just going back to the other games. Like I just did a Tag 2 video that's doing pretty well. I'm trying to like make content on the older games because I'm just, yeah, not really a fan of what's going on in Tekken 8 right now.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are really upset about season 2 and the balance issues in season 2, and then Fakuram is coming out soon too. A lot of
Mhm.
people are not very happy that he's in the game because honestly he wasn't very popular, but it seems like the developers really like that character, and they trying to. It's kind of like one of those things that they made him brand new in Tekken 7. They kind of want to push, the newer characters they created. I
Mhm.
think it's a money issue. I think they spend a lot of money making these characters, so they don't just want to flush these characters away. So that's why they
Mhm.
coming out with these characters as DLCs, which is why Fakuram, Lydia. Um, I wonder why they scrapped Bob though. Bob and Miguel was kind of like one of those two characters that they only appeared like in 2 games, and they kind of just like flushed them. You know what I'm saying? There was a what Tag
Yeah.
2, Tekken 6, Tekken 7, and now they kind of
Yep.
gone completely. Um, I was
They'll
in
come
that.
back. They'll come back at some point. I'm pretty sure of it.
Hopefully. So I was gonna tell you, what do you think about the whole the DLC thing? Like, paying, because a lot of people are complaining. They was like, why do
Mhm.
I gotta pay $40 to $50 for a season pass? I see a lot of people complaining about having to spend that much money
Mhm.
for characters they probably not gonna like. What do you think about the whole DLC thing, the pay to win? Because usually when DLCs come out, they're usually the best characters.
I think it's not just a Tekken specific issue. This is something in all fighting games. The first issue is like, holy shit, when did DLC get so expensive? Like I don't I'm in Canada, right? It's
Yeah.
like $12 for one character. Like what is going It used to be like $4 max, and even that was an ask for a character, but we're companies have just gotten so comfortable just charging ridiculous amounts because they know people will pay. It's the exact same in Street Fighter. So like the first issue is they're way too expensive. Like think about it. You pay okay, $60 is like for Tekken 8, right? When it came out,
Yeah.
full game. But you're paying, but then how much are DLC characters for in the US? I think it's like $8 or $7 or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's like 5 or 6 or something like that. I don't know, cause
Yeah.
yeah,
But like if you do the math, like if you buy both season passes of Tekken 8, that's the same price as the base game for 8 characters. But the base game had 32 characters in a story. It's so much. It's so incredibly expensive, which doesn't help the issue. The core issue with Tekken is just re-releasing characters. Like, to be honest, there's no reason why Eddie shouldn't have been in the base game, especially considering, I don't know if you remember, they did a Tekken talk like the night before the Tekken released, and they showed an Eddie trailer, and it's like, you're showing us an Eddie trailer, which means you're already working on him. They're working on DLC characters alongside the main game, which just brings up like a whole thing. Like, if you're working on DLC characters alongside the main game, it's just, you're kind of being greedy. Why not include them, right? Especially with Eddie, right? He's a legacy, one of the most popular characters.
yeah. That's
It's the same, yeah.
That's the thing too. Like Eddie, I agree with you. Eddie should have been. He's a staple. He's a legacy character. So it makes no sense
Mhm.
for him to be a DLC character. There's a couple of characters. Like Lei Wulong should be in the game already. I don't know why he's
Yeah.
not in the game. He's very iconic. You know what I'm saying? Like people see him and they think Jackie Chan, right? So
Mhm.
another thing too, you know how they did the whole Karate Kid crossover that was just like outfits.
Yeah.
They could have took advantage of that and made Lei Wulong look like Jackie Chan from that movie
Mhm.
and released him as a DLC character. I think a lot of people would have bought that, but I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of characters. Like I don't think Eddie Gordo will make people buy a season pass. That's just my
Mhm.
opinion. I don't think he's like the DLC choices for the first season. I don't. They weren't it, man. Like Clive, he has to be like the least popular Final Fantasy character. I don't think he's
Yeah.
really that popular, but apparently he sold really well. Apparently, that's what I read.
Yeah, I think Clive, I don't know, Clive makes sense because like they want to promote the new Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
Same with Noctis in Tekken 7. I do think Final Fantasy 16 was got better reception than 15. So I don't know. To me, adding him made sense. It's just the way they did it. I just I hate that character so much. And I play him. Like I picked him up to make a video, and it's just that character is just so it represents everything wrong with Tekken 8 right now, I think. But it's not just him. It's like all the whole first season of Tekken 8 DLC is just it's pretty bad in my opinion. Like Lydia's a failure. She should have been in the base game, especially because I'm pretty sure when Lydia came out, it was like was it less than 3 years since she came out in Tekken 7? Like we already just bought her and you're making us buy her again.
yeah.
I don't know. She either should have been base roster or if you're going to sell her, put her way down the line because no one wants to pay for a character twice in 3 years. Like what are we doing, right?
Yeah, and it's like Leroy too, because Leroy came out kind of late in Tekken 7 too. So I don't know why she wasn't just a staple character like Leroy was, right? And
Mhm.
it would have made more sense for them to make you pay for Leroy and Lydia being free, because I think Leroy is definitely more popular than Lydia. You had T-Pain cosplay as Leroy, so it's like he's definitely more like, the average casual player will see Leroy and they'll know
Oh
who he
yeah.
is. Lydia on the other hand, but we don't live in those days anymore that you could just unlock a character by playing the game.
Right.
I miss those days, but I understand why they don't do it, because they need to make the money back from the production costs of how much the game costed, right? Um, I was gonna
I
ask you
guess
too.
so.
How do you feel
Sorry, go ahead.
about how do you feel about the whole balance patching thing? Because honestly, back then, the way Namco used to balance games, they used to just come out with new versions of existing games for in the arcade. Like we used to have like I'll give you an example, like Tekken 5.0, and then they
Mhm.
updated it and came out with a arcade only version, Tekken 5.1, that they switched the life bars. The life bars was like green, and they took out tech roll catches, meaning when you tech roll, that you can't get guaranteed setups for people tech rolling no more. And they nerfed top tiers like Steve. And then they came out with Dark Resurrection. So Tekken 5 alone had two balance patches. Dark Resurrection just happened to be the console version, the upgrade that came out on PS3. So how do you feel about the way they used to balance with patches and the way they balance patches now with games?
Well, we're in a different era now. You kind of you have to patch your game if you're doing like a live service game.
Yeah.
It's just if you don't, like, no one's just gonna play it. Like patches are just, it's expected now. Like every game that's like modernly played gets balance patches all the time, right? I'm pretty sure League of Legends gets a patch every 2 weeks. It's just kind of expected in the industry. I don't think the old method, it wouldn't really work anymore. Just like releasing a game and then updating it like once or twice, like big updates. In terms of the arcade thing, I kind of understand it, right? It kind of explains some of the initial balance issues with Tekken 8. Everyone's said it already, but like it didn't release in arcades. You don't have that time to like test it out and tinker with it, so the game released in kind of a worse state. But we can't use that excuse anymore. Back in season 1, we're like, oh, there's all these issues, but it's okay. We didn't get an arcade release. Now we're in season 2 and it's somehow even worse. Everything's just fucked.
That makes sense, because I know Namco, they said the reason why they had to come out with, how Tekken 7 lasted so long, right, with all these seasons and patches. Apparently they
Mm.
was doing that to for the cost, because the cost of the game costed too much. And one of the reasons they said why they did that with all the DLCs and you have to pay for stages and stuff is because they didn't come out with an arcade release. And apparently by them releasing older games in arcade release, they can make the money back of what they did to spend on the game, right? So they kind of blamed it on not being in arcades anymore, you know?
Yeah, to be honest, I just don't think I buy the argument. Like I know like, a lot of people say we needed pump DLC so we can make back our cost, but like they make money when people buy the game. Like I don't know, it's for some reason now it's become like a standard to have to charge DLC to profit off of your game. When you sell a game, you're selling it at a profit, right? That's just how it works.
Yeah,
Like all those people who bought it at launch paid $60. Like you make money through the game. I just don't really buy it. The game is on sale all the time, and maybe through the DLC they can justify putting it on sale more. That could be a factor because fighting games go on sale more than like any other type of games. Like they're
yeah,
always on sale. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. To be honest, I think when developers say that, I think it's cope. I think it's just them. They know people are just gonna agree with it. I don't think it's true. I think they just want to make extra money. They want to like they have a product, they make an initial profit. Maybe that profit's not like as high as they want it to be, and they're like, okay, now we can just pump DLC for 4 more years, charge insane prices, charge for frame data in Tekken 7, like all this crazy stuff, and we know people will buy it, and we'll just make even more. I don't think it's actually about recouping the original costs. I could be wrong. I haven't like researched this. It's just I don't know. It sounds odd to me.
yeah. I only got this info because I saw like the Tekken talks, and they mentioned
Yeah.
all of this stuff about the cost and the arcade helped with the cost, and
Mhm.
also another thing, back to balance patches, I also think this when they used to put the beta tests, because they used to do this, they used to beta test the games in the arcade and
Mhm.
have a little beta test and then release the game and then an update will come out. I feel like when they did that, the overall balance of the games was better. I feel that.
Yeah.
Like the games were
Like,
overly more balanced because it took, pro players were able to play it a little bit more and give their insights. I think what's funny too. You know how there's a lot of balance patches now, right, for these games. if I
Mhm.
remember correctly, I think the first game to come out with balance patches, like month after month, was Mortal Kombat 9. That was the first game, first fighting game that came out with constant patches all the time, all the time, all the time, to the point that competitive play was kind of crazy because every month the game will be different.
Mm.
So, I'm wondering too, because a lot of people, I was gonna ask you about this. A lot of people have said that patches come out too late for Tekken. Because, like I said, like Mortal Kombat 9, patches, they'll fix things every month. But, I also think at the same time that too many patches for a fighting game is bad, especially if you're like a competitive player. You have to relearn things all the time. And then if your character ends up being bad, you got to like switch it up. And it just, I feel like a game cannot be completely balanced. It can't. There's always going to be top tiers and there's always going to be low tiers. Obviously, you can make the game kind of balanced, but I think too many patches is not good. So what you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a balancing act. I know in season one, people were like, "Oh, we don't get updates enough." But then you look at Street Fighter season one, they didn't get an update for like a whole year. Like they didn't get any balance changes. But people complain either way. People will complain if you get it a lot. People will complain if you don't get it. I, for the overall balance, it's probably just like a case by case basis. Street Fighter could get away with not patching the game for like almost a year because it was a pretty balanced game off the get go. There were still problems, but like there weren't like it wasn't like Tekken problems, right? I feel like Tekken 8 kind of needed, especially in season, well, in both seasons, but in season one, we needed those patches. And yeah, I think it would have been fine if season two just didn't mess everything up. We would have been on track for a good year two of Tekken, but it set us very far back, I think, unfortunately.
With season two, um, I want to ask you too, because this is a big thing. What did you
Mhm.
think about the whole boycott thing? Do you think the whole boycott, you think it helped Tekken or it put Tekken in a worse position? And also about season two, do you think the what do you think is wrong with season two? Because I feel like when a lot of people complain about season two, they don't really tell you exactly what's wrong. They just mention specific characters, but they don't really
Mhm.
break down. Okay, the reason why this game got worse is because this and that and this and that. Because like from my opinion, obviously I feel like you probably think the same way. Season one was a lot better,
Yeah.
even though
It
people
was
complained a
so
lot.
much better. It was so much better. And yeah, we had like 10 characters who were just stupidly broken, but even then, it was so much more fun. Like fighting a top tier in season 1, at least in my opinion, was so much more enjoyable than fighting the season 2 top tiers. Like, yeah, they're overtuned, they're very modern Tekken-esque, like Jin, super modern Tekken, right? Would use like 5 moves, can just do everything. But you look at Jin in season 2, he's worse, but like fighting him now, I typed this on my stream a little bit. Even Jin's becoming a stance rushdown character now. Like he'll do the 2-4 and he'll do the new low, and then you guessed wrong already. You took 60 damage, and then he's going in at wave dash at +5. Like every character just does this now. It's so much less fun to fight anyone, I think. You asked the boycott thing you said. I have no problem with the boycott. I don't think it's particularly going to be super effective because it's just not enough people were signing it. Boycotting is fine. If you don't like the game, don't play it. You can definitely like let your opinion be known to developers. I think that's really important. I
Hmm.
think it did it, right? Like the message was definitely received.
Yeah.
Now whether or not they're going to actually like fix the game like we want it to is still up to be seen. But yeah, I think the boycott's fine. I think it's not fine how far people took it. That boycott, like those couple weeks, were like some of the most toxic I've ever seen in the Tekken community.
Yeah.
We had people like faking creators' names on the boycott. We had people harassing, sending death threats if you didn't sign the boycott. I remember I uploaded a Tekken gameplay video, and I just got comments immediately saying, "You're part of the problem. You're destroying the community by still playing." It's like, dude, this is my job. Okay, calm down. Like we're not. Yeah, the people took it too far, and I think that it kind of like faded out because of that. And it sucks because that's a small percentage of people, right? I think the average person doing the boycott was just, yeah, I just don't want to play. I sign it. If you don't want to play too, sign it. But a couple bad people can like ruin the reputation for the whole thing. Like just a loud minority. And yeah, I think it got a bad rap because of that, which yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah, I agree with it, man. To me, it's like what you said, right? Like if you don't like something, don't play it, right? Why you gonna
Mhm.
like? It's fine when the game first comes out, season two, to complain about it, but it's actually people that are still mad, and it's been like what, like 5 months since season two. Like,
Mhm.
if you got a problem with the game and you still complaining, you need to play something else, man. Because we said everything we could say, but there's certain people that hate the game so much but they still play it every day. That's one thing I don't understand. Like you stream a game every day, And then I'm not gonna say no names, but there's a dude that was like, if the next patch comes out and is bad, this game should die. And then you go on Twitch and he's streaming rank sets.
Yeah.
Like,
It's cap. It's cap. Anyone who says they hate a game but they play it every day, they don't actually hate it. They're just triggered. They're just pissed off. It's every game. Like League of Legends, every single major League of Legends streamer. This game's dog shit. We hate Riot Games. We hate it, and they're still playing it. If you actually hate a game, you don't play it like that. Anyone who does doesn't actually hate it. It's pretty simple. They're just capping.
yeah, because
They're emotional.
yeah, if you hate something, you're not gonna play it. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves came out, right? I'm a big SNK fan, right? I flushed that game in 2 weeks because I don't like it. But I wasn't gonna go on social media and tell everybody the game was bad and boycott the game because I didn't like it. It's better just to move on from stuff, man. If you don't like it, don't play it. Like, honestly, I see the problems with season 2. Like, season 2's issue is that, in season 1, right? People complain heat engager plus 16, right? Too much, right? Too much. Plus 17, whatever it was, right? And now they lowered it to plus 9, right? It's cool that it's lowered to plus 9, but it really doesn't matter when they buff the plus frames on everything else. You know what I'm saying? So you eating homie moves that are like plus.
God, yeah.
They added more guard breaks to the game. They added unbreakable throws. Characters have unbreakable throws. To me, the worst thing is installs. I don't know why Tekken 8 has that. This install thing, because it's like a Dragon Ball Z character turning Super Saiyan, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or anime character fighting, and his ki goes up as he fights, right? What do you think about installs?
Installs are dumb, but I don't think it's the actual installs themselves that are the core issues. It's just the moves they get out of the installs, right? To me, in my opinion at least, the biggest problem with season 2, it just comes down to so many moves were either added or were buffed, and it's just the no risk, all reward. Like that's how it feels all the time. Like just these moves that just do everything, and like you're just plus all the time. You just keep your pressure going. That's the problem with installs, right? Like Zafina's back 1+2, one of the dumbest moves ever added to Tekken, in my opinion. Like with the install, like what is it? It's homing +4, I think, or something like that. So many characters have stuff like this now. So I don't mind the installs. To be honest, I don't mind them at all. It's just the moves themselves in the installs and in heat are too excessive. Like if you want to give a character an install, that's fine. They should be a little bit more powerful when they have their install, but not like this. It's too much. I think there is a good argument to be made about I don't like how you get infinite install during heat. That's kind of ridiculous to me. Yeah. Like, well, what are we doing? You already have this cool mechanic. Heat is already good, and you're giving these characters, because it's right now any character with an install just gets godly in heats. It's just how it is. You just get a permanent install, spam your most broken moves for like 15 seconds until your heat runs out. It's really dumb. It's really anti-competitive. But I think the core of the issue is just the moves in these installs, the moves on these top tier characters that are insane reward, very easy to throw out, and just cover every option. Like, I don't know, really frustrates me.
Yeah, because honestly, when your install is maxed, it's kind of like you're in heat without being in heat, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you in heat, you always get to do your install. So if you fight a character like Brian, you know, when he gets his install, he's already crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like characters like Asuka too. That's a problem. That character, when she's in heat, and her installs is intact, like it's too crazy. I don't understand the design decision with Asuka. It feels like they just want everything with her just to do big damage, without having to actually work for the damage. Because when you think about Asuka, she's pretty, like, I don't know if you agree, but she's probably like top 5, right? And the reason why I would say that is because she got like no weaknesses. You swing on her, she could take Half-Life off of reversals. So you can't rush her down, obviously, because of reversals, back 3, and you can't sit there and block on her neither, because of down 1+2, unseeable knockdown low and then they buffed her. She gets a guaranteed damage on Oki. She has a plus frame homing moves, and then if you duck, she has safe launchers. So characters like that is crazy. So who's your top 10 in the game? Who you think is like top 5, top 10?
Just really quick, just on what you were saying, I think the problem, it goes down to the identity issue, which I've talked about before. Like, Asuka, right? She's always had good defensive tools, right? Like the can, all like the parries, the
Yeah,
sabaki, right? This is her. She's always had this. But then in season 2, it's like, but what if we gave her broken offense? But what if we gave her 1,000,000 damage? And it's like, this isn't the character. This is never how the character's been designed. You see the same with so many characters, like base Steve. Oh my God, Steve! Before they nerfed the heat move, I don't know what they gutted that character, right? Like super executionally demanding character, like lots of skill expression, gone. And they did the same with Lee too, right? Like they got rid of some of his execution in his combos. They just don't care about character identity anymore. I think that really shows in season 2, which yeah, it sucks, dude.
yeah,
It really sucks. But you asked about what you said, my top 10
yeah,
characters.
yeah.
Honestly, I made a tier list like a couple months ago. I haven't really been playing the game. Like I took a 2-month break recently from playing. I'm just kind of coming back now. I'm working my way back up to God of Destruction again. It's I think Brian is God mode. I hear Anna's pretty God mode, although I don't really know much about her. I refuse to buy her. I'm like, I'm not paying for any DLC until you fix this shit.
Yeah,
I hear she's godly.
yeah.
I agree. Asuka's really, really broken. I think actually Reina's really good, but no one talks about that. I think Reina's actually like one of the best Mishimas. I think who else? I'm just off the top of my head. What are the other? Oh, Alyssa. Oh my God, dude. I can't. Like fighting that character in season 1 was already just the worst experience on the planet. And now in season 2, they're still buffing her. They're giving her what? She has like a new wall combo, a new plus on block. Oh God.
Yeah.
I think June is still really good. June is
Yeah.
really, really
Yeah,
good.
it's
And no
really
one,
strong.
the June down players are insane. Like they'll come swooping in if you say she's good. She has no tool. She got nerfed. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
What are we doing?
She breathe on you, you die, man.
Yeah, like she's kind of like Asuka as well. Like God defensive tools, but also when she's in your face, she can just do everything. Just no weaknesses.
And
Hwoarang, oh God, I hate Hwoarang so much. I liked him in season 1. In season 2, he's not fun to play against.
a lot of people downplay Hwoarang too, which is crazy. He has a 10 frame counter hit heat launcher.
Right? Yeah.
So it's like, and then the little fuzzy low, the low into the fuzzies, that's all guaranteed in counter hit too, and that's a launcher.
Yep, and he has every tool you could ever need. Amazing whiff punishing, amazing poking, some of the best pressure in the game, great damage, great wall carry, great heat. Yeah, the new low, even though it's nerfed, it's still really good. Like he shouldn't have a homing long range low to get him into stance. Like why does he already had the? I think the move's called Black Kite. It's like the approach tool. It's +1, right? Like the homing one where he jumps in.
Yeah.
He already has that. Why are we giving him another long range tool to get into stance?
Yeah.
Why are we giving him the new Flamingo? What is it? 4-3? The plus on block new thing he got? What?
Yeah,
like what? He doesn't need
broken.
this.
Yeah, that's like the cheapest move because you can't. Most Hwoarang players, they tell you want to be Hwoarang, you just sidestep and avoid this thing, but you can't because of the homing moves, and then the lows track too. You got the homing.
You just have to guess. You just have to guess. If you guess right, you'll get a little punish. If not, yeah, I just disagree with everything about that character in season 2. So I hope they. I wanted to finally pick him up because I thought he was cool in season 1, but I'm not touching that character.
Yeah, he's definitely like top 10 probably.
Yeah, dude. And he's one of the most downplayed. I think him and June are the most downplayed characters right now.
Yeah.
I think Clive is really good. I think Clive is really, really good.
Yeah, he's OD.
He's so strong.
Yeah.
What other top? I can't really think of any one I missed. Oh, I know Kazuya now. Everyone's talking about that. I asked Arslan Ash on Twitter who the best Mishima was, and he's like Kazuya. So everyone's fighting about that now. That's like the new thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think he's like quite like top tier because I think he's still really hard to use. But Kazuya down players are insane, bro. Like they will never stop downplaying Kazuya, like no matter what.
I think
this dude has so much broken shit.
I think he's the best Mishima too, for my opinion. I think he's the best. I think out of like all the Mishimas, he gets the best reward for his risk, and and also like because there's people that tell me they think Heihachi's the best Mishima. I don't agree because he still has to play Tekken. He got to play Tekken. He do have a guard break and unbreakable throw, but that's all stance related, right? You know, he still has to like actually play Tekken and poke you. Kazuya, man, like people give me shit for this. I don't really care, but he knock you down one time, that could be the end of the round. 1-1-1-2.
That's true.
That's it. And then you get up and you get vortex, and it's like, damn, son, I lost the match. I got knocked down one time. So,
and then he pops heat, and he's just Jesus, right?
Exactly.
That's everything.
So I
do think just quickly about Kazuya, like I agree. I think Kazuya's issue that because I've been playing him alongside all the other Mishimas.
Yeah,
I think his issue right now is just not having like a core stance. Like he has the wave dash, but I feel like right now all the best characters have moves that like take them into stance,
yeah,
either at plus frames or something like that. His problem is he doesn't really have that. Like once he knocks you down, the wave dash is just godly 50-50. But I feel like so many other characters above him just have like a million like stance 50-50s on your block. I feel like he doesn't really have that as much. That's kind of the reason, like I still think he's really, really good, but I think Reina and Jin are slightly better just because they have just the stance stuff. It's so beneficial in season 2 to have this, like these safe mix-ups. Like even Jin, like I mentioned it earlier, even Jin now, he has a 30 damage minus 14 low in his Zen stance that
yeah.
on hit brings him +5 for another mix-up. You just guessed wrong, time to guess again. Reina's whole kit is just guess again, guess again, guess again, right? I think that's just really, really beneficial for a character to have. I think that's why we don't see Kazuya as much in tournaments still.
Yeah.
And it is the poking. I do think poking is still important, at least in my opinion. Like not having a 13 frame down forward one, I think hurts him a lot. I think not having a 15 frame launcher, like an easy mode launcher, you have to electric, hurts him a lot. But yeah, if you like spend the time on Kazuya, you can he's so good. Like he has some of the best tools in the game. His down 1+2 is still not nerfed. They killed Jin too. Why does he still have a high crush, low launcher, counter hit launcher that's -14?
Yeah.
He gets to be privileged, you know?
Yeah, I forgot about that move. Yeah, that move is like that. Honestly, too, when I fight Kazuyas, I feel like that move could tell you if you're fighting a scrub Kazuya or not. Because every scrub Kazuya, when you pressure them, they just mash down 1+2.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those
that
things.
Pisses me off.
Yeah, that move is a scrub move. It's a scrub move. It's like an easy get off of me. I don't really need to think. Let me do this. So if that move were to get nerfed, I feel like a lot of like Kazuyas that might get like Tekken God, they'll lower it a lot.
For sure.
They'll probably go back to blue rank or something because that move it carries lower players. I think that move and 442 are the two Kazuya moves that are scrubby. Those are like scrubby easy moves to go to. I think if they were to like fix those moves, he'll be a lot harder to play.
Yeah, I think in Tekken 8, because I think Tekken 7 Kazuya was very like hard to approach as a character.
Yeah.
Like playing him, he didn't really have like a stupid easy neutral option like just get in quick. You needed to use your electric, right? You needed to have good movement on him.
Yeah.
Just to kind of make him work. But in Tekken 8, they're like, we want to make him more approachable so lower level people can pick him up and still see success.
Yeah.
I still think he has a really high like skill ceiling.
Yeah.
Like if you see the best Kazuya in the world, they're not like spamming forward 2. They're not spamming down 1+2. They're playing like decently similar Kazuya, except with all the heat bullshit that he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they added that just to make his skill floor a little bit lower, but like his skill ceiling is still very high, I'd say.
They do that with every character. I feel like every character in Tekken 8 has some kind of like easy mode, easy to get to. Like with Lee, for example, he has back 3-3. That's his easy to approach. You know, I'm gonna just run up on you and poke you with it move. Obviously, it's launch punishable and stuff. But that's like an easy scrub to get in. So every single character has that, right? I was gonna ask too. I was gonna talk about King actually, cause King he's in a weird situation. There's guys that will like hit me up on my streams and be like, "Oh, King is so bad in Tekken 8," and then there's other people that say King is top 5. So he's mad mixed. Like some people think he's like one of the best, and a lot of King players don't think he's good enough. So, what do you think about King as a character?
I think King's good. I think before he got patched, remember when he had like the new wall combo that led him straight? He started running at you. He had all those stuff.
Yeah,
when that was there, he was just godly. It was just easily like top 1 maybe or top 5, just insane. Since they've nerfed him, I still think he's really good. I think King fits the Tekken 8 system really well. He trades some of the stance rushdown just for the throws, obviously. They gave him homing throws in season 2, right? I think people, in his heat, right? He has his homing giant swing. I think, right?
I think, yeah, he just has a homing giant swing, but yeah, homing giant swing, yeah.
Isn't the Shining Wizard giant swing too while you're in heats?
I don't know. I will have to lab that, but I think
I think it is. Yeah,
okay.
That's what they gave him in season 2, and I think this is just my opinion. I'm not a professional player. I'm a ranked warrior. Okay, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but I think throws are actually like kind of underutilized. I think the addition of counter hit throws in this game being like a 12 frame option that like if it's counter hit throw, you basically can't break it on reaction or it's a lot harder. I think I think as the game progresses, we're going to start seeing competitive players use throws a lot more, just as like an interrupt option. If you're in your opponent's, like you're being pressured and you know they're going to press, you have a 12 frame counter hit tool, basically 12 frame 40 damage counter hit tool. And it's obviously going to be even better on King, who has, on King, it's homing. You can't even
Yeah.
sidestep, you can't evade it while he's in heat, right? So yeah, I think throws, we're going to see characters with good throws like kind of rise as the game goes on. Just for that, like no one talks about counter hit throws. Like no one talks about that as like a 12 frame quick interrupt option that is, yeah, hard to break on counter hits. 40 damage, you get Oki. And King has the best. Like King has the best throws. His chain throws are still annoying. Yeah, his throws alone make him good, but he has like a lot of dumb stuff. I know people still complain about it's the down forward 2-1, right? Like the counter hits that you can Twitch confirm. I think you can Twitch confirm that.
Yeah.
I know that's really good. I know now he has even his 50-50s are better in this game. The forward neutral 2 is like stupid.
Yeah.
Even you can sidestep it, but it's still it needs to be more minus. That should be like minus 14 at least for how much it is.
It used to be 14 in Tekken 7, I believe. Yeah, it used to be launch punishable, yeah.
So I think King's really good. I don't know if he's like top, I don't think he's top 5, but I think top 10 for sure. You can make an argument. I struggle to see like what the big weakness on him is. You said people were telling you that they think he's weak. What was their argument? Like, why did they think he was bad?
Most of the time with King, they think his heat is bad. That's the one thing. They don't think he's good in heat. So that's one of the things that people tend to say about King, is that his heat is not strong. But that's all I hear. And obviously they nerfed him a bit. You know, in the beginning of season 2, he was like top 3. With with the 4-2-2 nonsense, that thing was too good. So that's what most of they say. But like when you was talking about like homing throws, right? If you remember in Tekken 8 season 1, single throws used to track both ways.
Yep. And
they nerfed that. They took that out completely. And they only gave it to King now. Now King's throws, home. So
we're moving backwards. Everyone hated that throws were homing. They remove it. Oh, but King can have it back. Okay, I guess let's give it. Giant swing comes out at 10 frames and it's homing while you're in heats. Have fun.
I like the homing throws for single throws because it balances, right? Because in my opinion, like single throws are bad in Tekken 8 because you can mash any button and break them.
Yeah.
Just the the regular 1 plus 3, 2 plus 4, you could just break them by mashing, right? So it's like they're not useless, but they're not as good now that they don't home. Because before you could do like a plus ray move. If somebody tried to sidestep and hop kick you could grab them out of it. It'll get somebody to play a little bit more defensive, because they make throws easier to break. In older Tekken games, you actually had to look at the hands. 1 for left, 2 for right. So, they just making the game easier for everybody. And even Oki. I don't know how you feel about Oki in Tekken 8, but Oki before, you have to think a lot more to get up. If you back rolled wrong, you could lose your whole bar. If you tech roll wrong, if you get up straight wrong, get up kicks were way more punishable before too. If you did a spring kick,
the floats.
The
floats. They just float you constantly and you take a combo. Yeah.
Like get up mid and get up low and like Tekken 5 and stuff like that was launch punishable.
Yeah, even in Tekken 7. Well, I know the low was in Tekken 7. Why would they make the low get up kick safe on block? That's such a random change. Does anyone think that's a good change? I'm actually curious because I don't know. It's just annoying. And even instinctively still, like sometimes I'll block it and I'll go for like a while standing 4.
And it's safe.
Like, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's not balanced because you eat a full combo, right? If it hits you, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Back then, only specific characters got combos off a get up kick. Like Nina was one of them. Not every character got a full combo off of it. And if they did, it was like a very mini combo. But now you get like a full max damage combo, right? One thing that's kind of weird, like how you low parry, right? You do a low parry and then you get like a decent combo because it instant bounds. But since you could heat, it's kind of like a full-fledged combo. What do you think about like being able to use heat doing low parry combos? Because it kind of feels like, remember in Tekken 7 you used to get a full-fledged combo off a low parry into bound and everything?
Yeah.
I thought that was like mad cheap because I'm gonna tell you something. Like in Tekken 6, right? Vanilla Tekken 6, the arcade version of Tekken 6, you could low parry somebody, do a combo, bound. You could extend the combo. You could do full combo and then bound. And then they nerfed it because people complained because it was too much. You lost like if your opponent had rage, right, and they low parried your low, they could take like 100 damage off of you just from one low parry. So people complained about it. So when Tekken 6 came out on console, which is the Bloodline Rebellion version, they made it low parries instant bound when you low parry to
Sure.
balance it a little bit. But now in Tekken 8, it does instant bound, right, when you low parry, right? But the heat makes it so you could do like 100 damage combo.
Yeah, I think it's the same as what I said with like the command throws. Like they remove command throw homing, then they add it back. It seemed like in Tekken 8, like base game, yeah, low parries were significantly nerfed. Like you said, in Tekken 7, you get a low parry, you get wall, you can get like 70, 80, 90, you can get crazy damage, right? And that made that the risk reward on that wasn't good. So I like the change. You don't get a bound now. Like if you low parry, you get a little combo, 40 damage. It's still worth going for. Like if you know someone's going to do like a minus 12 or minus 11, or even minus 13 low, you can still low parry and get more damage. It's also all recoverable now. Like as soon as you low parry, all of the health is recoverable.
Oh
Like
yeah.
these are good changes, I think. But it just goes season 2, we're doubling down, we're changing everything again. Yeah, I know. Dude, I saw a clip of like Lars before he got nerfed getting like 100 and like full wall travel off a low parry because you can just heat burst in the middle
Yeah.
of it. I think a lot of characters now I can get like 65 to 70 nowadays whenever I low parry if I have wall. So it's annoying. I think there's a whole other thing to be said with heat bursts and combos now. I think kind of the Tekken community is just shifting. I don't think anyone really likes that anymore. Like most people, everyone's saying now combos are too long.
Yeah.
We know more of these 25-second cutscenes. Like combos in Tekken 8, even without heat burst, are already way longer than they've ever been. You add in heat burst, and it's like, oh, now we get 2 bounds plus wall. Like what is going on? So I think I don't know. People are saying like let's not make heat burst. Like they don't do anything in combos. They don't bound anymore. I kind of like that idea. I think that's interesting. It would help some issues. It would make damage less. It'd make combo length go down. Yeah, I think it'd be pretty interesting. It'd make
Yeah.
you have to work a little bit harder for your heat.
Mhm.
Because you know how like right now they've nerfed heat burst, right? Like they're super sidesteppable now. Well, most of them are. They're trying to nerf heat bursts and they're trying to make it like a little bit more difficult to get into heat. But as soon as you get a combo, you can just slap it at anywhere in the combo. And now not only are you getting a big damage combo, but your opponent is waking up to you in heat where you're god mode. So I think it would do 2 things. It'd like de-incentivize using it in combos. You'd have to work a little bit harder for your heat because you wouldn't just be able to get it for free. I don't know, I think it would solve a lot of issues.
Yeah, they should go basically the 2D route. In 2D games, if you
Mhm.
want to build your super meter, you got to fight and build it as the match goes on. Like imagine if you
Sure.
play Street Fighter 6 or something, and right when the match starts, you got level 3 already.
Yeah.
You know, you hit somebody
I
with like a low short into super, and that's it.
A lot of people are saying like build up the meter. I think that'd be cool. It's kind of hard to like imagine it though because it's so different from what we've been used to. Like I'm not
Yeah.
even. It feels like it'd be pretty weird. I don't know how fast the bar would build up.
Yeah.
I'm not against that at all. But to be, I don't actually mind like having heat immediately. I don't think that's. I think it kind of like makes Tekken a little bit more unique. Like whenever you want, you can activate the special state and get it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like inherently bad. It's just the balancing. Like if heat is just too much, it shouldn't be. If you want to go god mode when you get heat, then yeah, you shouldn't just give it out for free. But like if you're gonna make it just like a little buff, like you just get a little bit more chip damage, you get a heat smash, and then you get it immediately, I don't mind as much. Just tone it way down because it's just not fun to deal with. It's no one likes dealing with heat in this game. It's not fun. I've seen people mention now I think it was someone posted on Twitter. It might have been you who said like heat smashes like they shouldn't be plus on block. They should like push you super far away like Jax does. It might have been someone else who said it on Twitter, but like that's kind of a good idea. Like, does anyone like the fact that like a lot of heat smashes, you block it and then they're +6 instance in your face? Like, no, heat smashes would be a lot more balanced if heat smash, boom, knocks you far back, resets the situation. I think that'd be a really good direction to go.
Yeah, I think heat smashes, they definitely shouldn't be that plus because eating a heat smash in a 50-50, that's horrible. And they do chip damage too. And I don't think heat smashes should be homing. I think you should be able to sidewalk every single one of them. So that's another issue with the homing heat smashes. One thing I don't like about season 2 that we didn't talk about yet is the health bar increase. Like I feel like the health bar increase, like some people like it, some people don't. But I think it was kind of lazy development. Just the game does too much damage, things hurt too much, so let's make the health bar bigger. By making the health bar bigger, it makes it harder to poke. And it also makes people play even more riskier now. So it makes the game a lot more chaotic now. They should have just nerfed the damage on combos in general and just buff pokes to make people actually fight a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they did in Tekken 6. In Tekken 6 and in Bloodline Rebellion, they actually buffed the poke damage overall on the whole cast.
Sure.
And it made the game
I
more poke
think,
heavy.
yeah, I think the HP thing, it's kind of like putting a band-aid and not actually like fixing the core issue. As Tekken is right now, I actually like I like it more than most people, I think. But that's just because everything else, like heat is so overtuned. So getting extra HP means heat doesn't last as long, right?
Yeah.
It means that like if you get vortex and then your opponent pops heat and you're just blocking or you get hit, now it doesn't last for as long and then they have no heat and then you play the rest of the game in heat, like less of the overall match. Because before, like you could spend, if someone like comboed you did heat, they could like spend the whole match in heat. Sometimes it was rare, but you'd see full matches just the whole time you're in heat and then it's everything, you just die. So I think we want to avoid that. The HP helps with that, but like you said, it's not fixing the core issue. It's definitely lazy. Like you can tell they only did that because of the emergency patch, because they were like scrambling and they're like, we got to give you a solution. I think there's a lot of issues. Poking, yeah, arguably it is worse, I think, which doesn't help. I like in general that like when you get comboed now, you still, like before the combos would do like 70. Now combos are doing like 50% of your HP, 60 max, right? So I do like that aspect, but again, all those problems could just be solved by nerfing damage. Like you don't need to buff the HP for that.
Yeah,
It's not fixing the actual problem. And the timer. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but like a lot of matches are going to time. I notice it so much more often now. Matches will go to time, and then you run into all this dumb stuff like people stalling. You'll do combos, you do like a super weird route to just stall the combo, and you'll rage art and you'll heat smash. Yeah, it breeds a whole lot of other problems. So I probably think it wasn't the way to go overall, but I don't mind it as much as some other people.
I noticed a time over thing. When I've been playing, I noticed a lot of more time overs. And one thing, I wanted the last few questions. The new patch is coming out, right? And I saw they was fixing something that I'm glad they fixing. They're making rage arts more punishable. There's times that I play and I'll punish a rage art and the thing will be safe on block. Like I'll do a hop kick and they'll instantly block. Or there was a time that I played recently, I did a 14 frame move and the guy instantly blocked right after doing a rage art. So apparently in a new patch coming out next week, they're making rage arts more punishable, which I think is a W, because it's weird that sometimes it's safer and sometimes it's harder to punish. So I'm glad. So I was gonna ask you, what changes do you think Tekken 8 should get to become a better game? So like obviously the rage art thing, making it important, more punishable is good. I think another issue with the game is that moves are too safe on whiff. Some characters like Yoshimitsu could spit poison breath in your face, and then you whiff punish him, and he's safe on block after whiffing it. June also. June has a lot of moves, like a parry, I think it's a 4-1+2 that she could do in heat. That move is basically technically safe on heat. I mean, safe on whiff. I also think, heat bursts, I think they recover way too fast. Way too fast. It's like somebody could do a heat burst from half screen and whiff it, and you'll punish them, and they'll instantly block right afterwards. I also think they still have way too much range. I don't think a heat burst should hit you like the characters douse him. Like, why are you over here and he's over here and he does heat burst and it hits you? Like,
Or make
so
it universal, because not all characters are built equally. Like if you want every character to have a long range heat burst, then give it to everyone. But half the characters have like weaker ones, and some of the other ones, like I play Jin, that shit reaches from across the stage.
Yeah.
Like I'll be comboing and I'm like, I actually think this isn't gonna hit, and it'll just somehow the hitbox expands and it hits. So yeah, either make them all low range or make them all high range, but don't make it like this weird middle ground, right? It's very odd, I think.
Like Hwaran's heat smash is a low crush.
There you go. Oh god, it's really dumb. I think you mentioned the rage arts. Yeah, the rage arts are a good change. Rage arts are they're so much more annoying in Tekken 8. I kind of just wish they'd go back to how they were in Tekken 7. Like I'd even like you know how some of them were highs and some of them were throws, but I'd even take that just because like you know how you could get like a couple more hits before it actually happened. So if your opponent was low HP and you were doing a jab, you could do like a 3-hit jab string before the armored rage art comes out, right?
Yeah.
You could finish matches. It's like sometimes I'll do like a crouch jab, and then they'll rage art, and it'll be a true punish, and it's like, wait, sorry, what? Like, why am I getting punished for pressing a jab? It's way too much. They come out way too quickly. I think that's my biggest issue with rage arts. Like, please bring them back to before. If you're low HP, rage arts need to be like a high risk, high reward. But right now, it's just they're a little bit too cheap. They come out way too quickly. And yeah, like you said, the -15, dude. I feel for the Kazuya and like Heihachi, because they can't launch that shit. They have
Yeah.
to electric, and that makes it even harder, right? That makes it even harder. And yeah, if you have anyone who has latency, you're just you whiffs all the time. Like you'll just mess it up. So that's good change. It needs to be like minus 18, 19. Make it minus 25. Like it doesn't just as we don't want any like
Yeah.
people missing their punishes on rage arts, right? Like you should never get away with a rage art. If you're in a game and people are getting away with rage arts, it's just pretty bad game design, I think. In terms of the other stuff you mentioned, recovery, yeah, I agree. Things recover way too fast. It's kind of just an overall issue with like modern Tekken. Like we have these moves that just they do everything and they're way too hard to punish.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a lot harder to punish someone throwing out a button than it is to throw out. Like if someone's just like spam, even the electrics, right? Like they got their recovery changed in Tekken 7. They're super hard to whiff punish now.
Yeah.
You can just throw out electrics, and like dealing with that is really difficult. It's like so many other moves in the game. It's so much more difficult to deal with these moves than it is to just be the one. Even though electrics are hard, like it's not really that hard to spam electrics if you play a Mishima player. But like whiff punishing them is you have to jump through a million hoops just to punish something that you should be able to punish.
Yeah.
Whiff punishing in general was just nerfed in Tekken 8, I think. Like it's just not. It's not as good, which sucks because to me that was one of the coolest parts of Tekken. Like cool movements, making cool reads, keep out whiff punishing. That's Tekken to me. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot more difficult. So I definitely agree. We need to make moves in general have more recovery. We need to give homing moves just less homing moves in general. You know, like I miss when homing moves were like the exception. Like you'd have homing moves, but they'd be relatively rare, or like they'd only track to one side, or they'd give up your turn. It's like these days, every character just has a million homing moves, like all the time. So many lows are homing now. It didn't used to be like that. Like so many characters just have all-purpose homing lows. Yeah, they're like what is it? Zafina's back 1+2 plus on block mid homing. Oh, okay, Lars forward 3/3 plus on block homing. Huang has one too. So many characters have these. I think I mentioned it in a podcast I did with Speed Kicks a while ago, but like if mid, the idea is like mid homing moves should always give up your turn, as in like -9. If you're throwing out a mid homing move, you're basically doing a read. It's a big call out, right? These should be like slower moves where you give up your turn. I don't care about high ones because you can duck it, so it's not as much of an issue.
Yeah.
But it's just nowadays we're just giving so many properties to these moves that it's very unintuitive. What's the point of heavily buffing sidesteps if you're going to give every character ridiculous homing moves and so much plus frame pressure that you can't step? Yeah. Like, do you want to sidestep when you're -6? Not really. So every character is just throwing out these plus on block, plus on block, plus on block. I'm not going to sidestep. I'm going to hold guard. And that's like the core issue. Like it's a single player game. Once you get into your flow and you activate heat, press plus, press plus, press plus. It's really, it sucks. It really sucks.
If it was up to me, honestly, like what I would do, I would just take out homing moves completely and make people think a little bit more. Because in Tekken 5, like I know I sound like a dinosaur, but in Tekken 5, man, you ain't with no homing moves. You have to know which moves track which way, and you have to just think. You have to use your head. He's sidestepping right, I'm gonna do a move that tracks right. He's sidestepping left, I'm gonna do a move that tracks left. Because homing moves, they came out in Tekken 6. In Tekken 6, that's when every character had homing moves. You know, the whole homing move aspect too, it helps certain characters, right? Like characters like Lee and Lily and stuff like that have universal bad tracking, right? Anna also. So characters like that, homing moves for them, let them deal with their weaknesses a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So like like example, like a lot of people complain about Lee's 1+2 in Tekken 8, right? Because it's +2, he could go into stance. But the thing with a move like that is that Lee as a character, he needs that move, right? And the reason why he needs that move is because everything else doesn't track, right? So, like, when you play Lee, you kind of have to spam 1+2 the whole game. You kind of have to. If you don't, you're just going to get sidewalk launched the whole match, right? I can understand people not liking it plus. I think the move would be more cheap if it was plus frames without going into Hitman, right? But since it's tied into Hitman, the Hitman options are slow, you know? Hitman 1+2, the quickest mid, 15 frames. So if I do Hitman 1+2, it'll come out 13 frames, right?
You have 13 frames to interrupt it. Sounds fair. And it's not like that with all characters. Some characters you just have to take it.
So a lot of people say that move is broken, but you know, Hitman doesn't track at all to the right. So if Lee does 1+2, right, and he does Hitman 1+2, 1-1-1, Hitman 2, Hitman 3, you could just sidestep and avoid everything. So I think to me that isn't too broken because Lee still has to guess what you're gonna do, right? It's not like
Mhm.
these other characters that hit you with a homing move plus frame, and it's like +9, and you just have to just like they don't even need to take a guess, right? Like stuff like that, I think is a little bit too much. You like if somebody does a homing move, like it should if it's gonna be plus, it should be low plus. Kind of like the same with heat engages. Like they try to balance it by making it +9. You still can't really do much with +9. They should just make it like +3 or +4. So at least you could like sidewalk. Like there's more counterplay, obviously. There's certain characters like I give you an example like Safina, like she's crazy, right? If you hit her with a heat engager, right? You know her backdash is so good that she could just backdash every single option and she doesn't need a guess.
Mhm.
She's like the
Yeah.
only character that could do that too. I think her and probably Elisa could do it, where they could just backdash after a +9 heat engager.
Jin can parry. Can parry like pretty much any option as well now.
Oh yeah,
It's not universal. It's still like just character specific stuff, but a lot of characters just can't do this stuff. So, and I feel like they should either give it to everyone or yeah, just don't bother. It's very yeah, what it's +9, right? Or +8 now.
yeah.
It's
It's like
still
+9, yeah.
it's nice in terms of making hard reads. Like at least now, if you know Akazi is going to do a brain dead forward 3, which they all do, you
Yeah,
can like sidewalk it and you can launch him.
yeah, that's
That's
good.
nice.
Hmm.
You can make hard reads, but I feel like that's only really a factor in like ranked play because I feel like in competitive play everyone plays a lot safer anyway.
Yeah,
Like you don't see them doing that. Now you just change your game plan. After a heat engager, you'll just use a move that they can't sidestep. If you act fast enough, you still can't sidestep. You just have to use faster moves. So it doesn't really solve the core problem as much. It's just now you don't get as huge swings. I guess it's nice, but yeah, it's still. I agree. You could make them more minus, and it'd be a lot more fair. I think because you're still getting into heats.
yeah,
Like even if they were only like even if they're only +1, you still go into heats and you get a big advantage because you get your full heat bar. With heat burst, you lose part of it, right? You get
yeah.
a full heat bar, and now you're in heat. Like it doesn't need to be that crazy. We don't need to always be plus on block in Tekken 8. Plus on block. Remember when being plus on block was like a rare thing?
Yeah,
Now it's like every single game, and every character is plus on block multiple times in a match. It's just I don't know. It's not as fun. Even Street Fighter is a good example of this. Like you're not. Although actually maybe not because you can just drive rush and everything becomes plus.
yeah.
So sorry, bad example. But everything shouldn't just be plus all the time. It's annoying.
That's the thing. Like when you saw how we say like Safina could backdash out of certain things, Tekken is in a weird state because there's still characters that have their character identity, and then there's other characters that have everything, right? So like an example, like Dragunov for an instance, right? He has advanced backdash and advanced sidestep, right? And
Sure.
that's unique to him, right? I feel like in Tekken 8, there's not enough characters that have unique stuff to them. Everybody has the same thing. So I feel like
Mhm.
it's kind of weird the way Namco does it. Like, okay, Elisa, we're gonna give her advanced backdash and sidestep. Safina, we gonna do that. And then other characters don't even have unique stuff to them because everybody else has counter hits and wall carries and stuff. To me,
Yeah.
Tekken was more fun when everybody had a set amount of weaknesses and a set amount of strengths they had. Like
Mhm.
before, the only characters that had good wall carry were like Lee, Bruce, and Baked Dosun. That's it,
Yeah.
and that's about it. And then now everybody got counter hit launchers. Everybody got full wall carries. Everybody got plus frame mids. So I think in general, Tekken will be better if it was more unique, like specific characters. Because honestly, I think the game is scrubby to the point that if you could play one character, you could play them all because they all play the same.
Yeah, it's what you said about like the identity. It's just so true. It's also like damage. Do you remember even in Tekken 7, some characters had high damage, some characters had lower combo damage, but they made up for it in other ways, right?
Yeah,
Like I think Main Man always used to say this, but like Yoshimitsu in Tekken 7, he gets a bunch of really weird tools. He has like flash, unblockables, all this clown shit.
yeah,
But when he combos you, you don't take a lot of damage. Suddenly in Tekken 8, Yoshimitsu's doing 100 damage. Like suddenly a lot of the female characters as well, I think, used to have low combo damage in Tekken 7. That was part of their identity. That was how they were designed. But they're like in Tekken 8, the developers, well, that's not fair. We need to give every character the same combo damage. That's boring. Like
yeah,
I don't know. It's really boring to me. And that's the thing that like that's common in fighting games. Like there's always characters who hit harder than others, but it feels like in Tekken 8 we've lost so much of that. Like there's still characters. Now it's just either you have great damage or you're god and you need to be nerfed. That's it. There's no in between. Everyone just kills you.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
kind of like
make it more interesting.
That's like Link too. Like what you said, Link, she used to have low combo damage, but she could just
Yeah.
evade everything. And now she hits like a truck, and she could 50-50 you now, and
Mhm.
plus at the same time. So that seems to be like an overall issue with Tekken 8, where characters are just, they don't got their identity no more, so the game is not as fun. So yeah, man, I appreciate. I think we kind of covered everything, man. We talked about every single topic in general. I appreciate for you coming through. Yeah, tell people where to follow you, um, and everything. Just tell people where to follow you, where where they can watch your videos and everything.
So I upload on YouTube. My channel is BoogardMG. Right now I'm focusing more on like longer, like more like tightly edited videos. I just did a tag 2 hour-long video just going over all the characters.
Oh
I have
wow.
a podcast of my own as well that I'm bringing back soon. So I'm there on YouTube. That's really it. I have a Twitter that I don't really use too often, but it's just Boogard underscore. And yeah, that's all. That's about it. Thanks for having me on, man. It was fun.
Yeah, no problem, man. One last thing too. Your name is Boogard because you play Terry Bogard in Smash Brothers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And in Street Fighter, I've always played Terry in every game.
All right. Cool. Cool. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming through, man. And yeah, guys, I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Be sure to subscribe, comment, and follow Boogard, man. He makes a lot of good content, and he's making a lot of old school Tekken content. Old school Tekken content right now is booming right now. So a lot of people are more interested in older Tekken games because season 2 is like working at McDonald's. It's rough. You feel me? So yeah. On that note, peace out. Take care, everybody.